Hey everyone, once again, it's an episode of Modern Work Mondays for Retail. I'm your host, Nolan Wheeler, and of course, I have with me my co-host.
Jeff Strasser from Microsoft.
Awesome. So we had this conversation last time, Jeff, where you were having this challenge in the store and you couldn't find anybody's help, and you were holding on to the merchandise because you didn't want
Right.
to lose it. And then you closed it off with this great comment, which was, we have amazing tools for online shopping, and why don't we have amazing tools in store? Like, let's break that down. Tell me where you're going with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously there's different infrastructure, different ways of shopping, and ways access to people and information in stores than there is online, or when you have a computing device in your hand, be it a PC or a phone or anything else. But I think we've missed the bridge of bringing these two worlds together. So that experience in the store is as good, or in theory should be better than it is online, right? Inline or online rather, you've got the ability to shop from anywhere, but there's no experiential element to shopping. There's no environment, smells, sounds, touch and feel product. Like that should be the best shopping experience,
Yeah.
and yet there's so much that's missing from an information and product research and comparison um, when you're in the store. And so, what is the opportunity to bridge that gap? Through it could be any number of ways. Could be through the associates themselves, through other tools and screens and access to information. It could be through your own personal devices and the way they interact with the physical environment in the store. But there's an opportunity here for somebody to bridge that gap, and we should have the in-store experience should be the online experience plus, not the online experience kind of minus.
Yeah. I always tell people, it's if you're already in that retail store, you've already spent the gas and the time and you parked, you did all that investment of your time and life. The alternative is that you're going to leave frustrated and go buy it online or on Amazon. We just need to give like that much of a lift to keep the customer in the store and give them the help that they need. And you're right. Like if you think about online shopping, you've got chat and you've got contact and you've got additional information and so on and so forth. And I don't want to have to go and download every app for every store that I go to. I'm not going to download my couple favorite grocery stores apps and then going to download my DIY app. I'm app fatigued. So it really comes down to, it's like, give me simple solutions that I don't have to have an electronic barrier to get physical good help.
Yeah, and like if somebody's made that investment to go to the store, your probability of closing that sale should be exponentially higher, right? Because of the time investment, because it's
Yeah.
potentially in your hands and you want to walk out with it. So you have fewer chances to close that sale because you have fewer people coming into the store than you have on your browsing on your website or interacting with social. Um, but I think the work needs to be done to understand, why are people walking out without a product, or why are they making the purchase online while they're in the store, and how do you close that gap? It may be pricing, it may be return policies, it may be other experiences, inventory and assortment and things like that. But it feels like there's a miss. So I think there's an opportunity for somebody to close that gap. It's probably a host of people through data and other experiences that can kind of bridge that. But it's something that I think needs to be addressed. Otherwise the in-store experience continues to lose value.
So for the first time, I'm going to be super selfish and I'm going to close the gap and close the Modern Work Monday with, I think that's us. We've got a technology that allows you to text in a store and get help. So it's like a shotgun approach, really broad. And now, of course, with voice and AI, you can just hit, the microphone button and you can speak your question in, and we're going to take that to either AI or a complement of AI and then down to a person. And we're going to deliver that to either a Zebra or a Samsung or to a radio. So, that's my first selfish one. So now you get one selfish one on your side for one of these calls. I
Well,
think that we've kind of got that dialed, and it's
yeah.
very importantly through a lot of the team stuff that we do with you. There are other platforms that we do it with as well, but I mean, yeah, that one I'm gonna take as mine.
Yeah, and sometimes it's that simple, right? Like I would much rather interact. It's just easier to interact with my phone than find somebody in the store. It's harder to staff labor. There's never enough, so on and so forth. So if I can interact with my phone, but I'm able to walk out of the store with what I want at the best price with the right product because somebody, whether it's AI or it's a human that's interacting with it from whether in the store or even at in a remote call center type experience, is able to communicate with me before I leave the store, that is the bridge, or it's at least in a huge part of the bridge to close that gap. So yeah, you guys are doing good work there, and I think we just need to keep driving that, the adoption and the change in stores, because I think as we know from working with retailers, it's a big lift. Changing process, technology, tools, in across hundreds and thousands of retail stores is not something that happens overnight. But you've got to start making the investment and really starting to look at the data and the experiences that are broken or at least not as good today, to start to change that trajectory.
Yeah, right on. All right, well, that ends Modern Work Monday on this session. Selfish, synctech.com. Download, go take a look at the app actually available through Microsoft Marketplace. That's the Teams bot that allows you to do everything that we just shared and talked about. Connect to your radios, connect to your Zebra devices, get that customer to use their phone in your store to solve their problem, because they're going to use their phone anyways. And it's either going to be to Google or Bing, where the closest next location is, to go and shop it, or they're going to go and use their phone to use Amazon. So you got to figure out how to play nice with that customer device.
Exactly.
Thanks, buddy. I'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.